It's a snow day here in Lancaster, and even though it looks really beautiful, it's pretty lethal underfoot. So we came to the park with the cameras to take some pictures, but it's really soggy. It's all starting to melt now as well. But right over the bay, over there, it looks really beautiful. Getting an iPad has been one of the best decisions I've ever made for my business, and on it you can get an app called Procreate. It's $8.99, it's a one-off payment, and you can draw on it, you can edit things on it, so many things that you can do on it. It's become an integral part of my business now as an artist, and I highly recommend it. Hello you lovely lot, I'm just putting the deer prints into some compostable bags ready to go in this month's Patreon boxes. So the things that you've just seen are all things for the Patreon boxes for this month. So a print of my deer painting, a postcard that I created on Shuffles. If you've not been on Shuffles, it's a collaging app, it's really good. So I started it off in Shuffles and then I finished it off in Canva. So they're postcards as well, and some really cute stickers that I created on my iPad, little mushrooms and moss. So they won't get a whole sheet of the stickers, they'll get like maybe four stickers. And I'm just putting these things into the bags, like I said, and then I'm going to start making the zine for this month as well. So it's really exciting to do this. It's a new thing this year. I changed all my tiers on Patreon. Every time, look. Can you see him? Every time I start recording, he messes around. Yeah, so it's a new thing that I'm doing on Patreon this year. I closed all my tiers for the past few years. I closed them in December. Because when I first set up my Patreon, I was so excited doing it. I still am excited doing it. But I added all the things. And I was doing Zoom calls and, yeah, loads of different things. And what I found was, it was too much. I'd offered... Sorry, that's probably really annoying, isn't it? Me ripping off the sticky bit. I'd offered too much to start with, which wasn't a good idea really. So if you've not made a Patreon yet and you're just starting out doing one, that is something to be aware of. Don't over offer, because then what happens is you'll find that there's too much to do and it gets overwhelming, especially if you're doing other things as well, like you know, having an Etsy shop and doing freelance design work and things like that. So I've condensed my Patreon all down into 3 tiers now. So there's a magic support tier, which is £3 a month, and on that, every month, on the 1st of the month, the magic support tier people get all digital downloads to print off at home, and they also get access to blog posts, behind the scene posts, and other stuff that I just, you know, write about or think about. And then there are 2 other tiers, but they're the same thing. So it's a monthly box, and each month it'll be different. It'll be a different box each month, but it will include a piece of an art print, some other things like stickers, postcards, things like that, and it will also include a zine. So I wonder why I said like that, zine. And they're the same tiers, so there's 2. One's for UK people and one's for international. Now when I've said international, what I mean by international is America, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, all that kind of thing. Not Europe, I'm afraid. I cannot post to Europe anymore since the new regulations have come in. So if you're in Europe, I'm really sorry. I do feel really sorry for people in Europe now, and Northern Ireland, because the EU have lumped in Northern Ireland in their rulings. So it's a shame really. So if you want to sign up, you can. You pop over to my Patreon. I'll put the link in the description. Now he's biting his nails. Won't let us cut them, but he bites them anyway. So I just thought I'd do that little intro catch up bit while I was packing these things, but I've come to the end of doing it now because I can't really tear off the things because they're a bit too noisy while I'm talking. Also, look at, oh, it's a screensaver. Can I make it come on? Oh, I don't want it to play because I'll get a copyright thingy. Can you, I don't know if you can see that. It's really lovely. It's a playlist that's on YouTube that I've been listening to. It's music, classical music. And it's called, it's by Dear Victor and Victoria. And it's called This Is Why Eric Satie is the Best Composer. A quiet playlist. Oh look, I've gone all bright. That's because I've got my lamp on. But it's really nice. So if you want something to listen to while you're making, I highly recommend that playlist. Just have a look. Just YouTube Dear Victor and Victoria and you'll find them. Okay then, I think it's tea time, so I best finish these and then I'll go and make my dinner. I'm just out walking Badger. It's frosty and it's cold and it's wintry, but look at the winter sun behind me and oh my gosh, it's so nice feeling it on your face Oh, it's just so lovely. Like all that winter sun, you just gotta soak it up while you can, because it's, oh, the phone's in my face, because it's so important to get out and get some vitamin D, even if it's cold, as long as it's safe underfoot. We're at the park at the minute, and it's really compacted ice, so it's all right for walking on. But yeah, just to be out and get that fresh air and just breathe in the trees and hear the birds, it's gorgeous. Oh, look! I'm well pleased with that. It's come out really nice. I discovered Paul Jackson via TikTok. His son had made a video about his work. He's been working doing illustration, writing stories about a magical place called Elsewhere for years. Like, I can't remember if it was 40 or 50 years. Instant follow. I'm just blown away by this man. Honestly, what just fantastic. His illustrations are incredible. I chose the silver birch one because silver birch is my favourite tree. It's just really beautiful. And this book is the first book in a series, and I cannot wait to read it, I know I'm going to be transported to a completely different place. Well, I'll be transported to Elsewhere, which is the place that he writes about. But honestly, if you've not come across him yet, go and look him up. He's got his website's called pauljacksonelsewhere.com, and he's also on Patreon now as well, and he's on TikTok. Honestly, even his leaflets, they feel so nice. They're just amazing. Like I say, it takes a lot for me now to be surprised and to be wowed and awed, because I used to do the fairs years ago. I saw so many hundreds and hundreds of different makers and creators, so it's like I've been in that world for so many years, and when I come across somebody like Paul who's doing something, just he lives this whole life doing, you know, creating this. Honestly, I can't even find my words. I can't find my words, because it is fantastic. It really is. So go and check him out. And Paul, if you're watching, thank you so much. I cannot wait to get into this book, and just amazing, just incredible. I've been thinking a lot about hair lately and having conversations about hair as well, and I've always had really thick hair. When I was a child, it was down to my knees. I think I mentioned this before, and over the years I've had it shorter, longer. It gets to a certain length where I'm like, oh, it's too heavy and I need to chop it off. And I do cut my own hair. I've been to the hairdressers probably 4 times in my whole life. But I've never really done anything with it. I'm not very good at creating good hairstyles. And a lot of the time I just shove it up and put it on top of my head. Well, Lucy, who you've seen in previous videos, has got the most beautiful hair. And she brushes hers every night before bed, and I don't ever brush mine unless it's really tangled. I just do it in the shower with my fingers. And the other day I was like, oh, my hair feels really just ugly. It needed washing, and it just felt knotty. And so intuitively I got some castor oil and some rosemary oil and rubbed it all in my hair, rubbed it all in my scalp, put it everywhere. And the next day I left it in overnight, and the next day I left it in all day. It felt gross. And then in the morning I washed it, and oh my god, it's so soft. It's beautiful. So I highly recommend it. Don't use rosemary if you're pregnant, or don't use castor oil if you're on blood thinning medication. The other thing I want to tell you about, just before I plait my hair actually, is I saw this on it. It's not my original idea, but I saw this on a TikTok video. And isn't TikTok amazing for learning stuff? And she said, when you plait your hair, plait each strand with an intention. So obviously you do this in a more sacred way, not when you're filming for YouTube. But each strand means something. So I'm going to choose today love. What am I going to choose? Love, joy and opportunities. So as you're plaiting it in, you're like love, joy, opportunities. 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 Love, joy, opportunities, love, joy, opportunities. And then you've weaved that into your hair for the day. And then at the end of the day, you take your hair out, and as you're undoing your hair, you're grateful for the love, joy and opportunities that have come your way in that day. And you can pick your own. You just tune in every day. What do you feel like? And if you don't want full plaits like this, you could just have a small plait that goes in to your, your other hairstyle. But I thought it was such a beautiful way of weaving your intentions of the day into your hair. It's so magical, isn't it? It's just fantastic, and hair holds so much, and that's why when you finish a relationship or you move somewhere or something, you often get the urge to cut your hair, because you're cutting off those memories that are kept within your hair, and it's fantastic. So yeah, I really thought that was interesting, but it's just a fantastic thing. The other thing that I've done as well is I've cut off a lock of my hair and kept it in a box, so when I'm a grey lady, I'll still be able to look at the colour of my hair, because it is, especially in the light when it's sunshine outside, it's the most gorgeous fiery auburn colour. And when I was about 12, I didn't like the colour of it at all, and an old lady was stroking my hair and she was going, "Oh, it's the most beautiful colour," and I thought, yeah, right. But she was so spot on, like it really is, and it's only now I've got older that I appreciate it. So that's just a little bit about hair and setting your intention for the day. Look, I made myself some leg warmers that are meant to be like moss, but now I've put the plant light on for my plants. All the green bits are all illuminated. You can't actually see how bright it is, but all these bits, they've all like lit up. It's well cute. I really like having a morning routine, whether that's a simple routine for winter or a much longer routine for summer when there's more light. For winter, my routine is really easy and quick. I start off with gratitude journaling. I just write down all the things that I'm grateful for that morning in the moment. And it's really a great way to count your blessings and give yourself a sense of fulfillment and just joy in the day and appreciating what you've got already. I also like to journal on some questions, and the questions that I am doing at the moment I think might be really helpful for you too. So pause this video now and grab a piece of paper and a pen, and you can write these down. The first one is, what lights me up today? I think this is really important because it's not an overall what lights me up in general, it's what lights me up today. The next one is, how can I embody my soul's essence in my work and life? The next one is, what does ease and flow feel like for me today? And again, this is important to say today because many days ease and flow feels completely different. Sometimes we have all the energy and other days we have hardly any. And then write these down and answer them daily. It doesn't have to be a long practice. It can be as short as a few minutes, or you take as long as you want. And what you'll find is you'll end up writing all that you need, and once it's out of your head, it's just a lot easier to get on with the day. Oh my gosh, it's so cold outside. It's bloody freezing. I've just been out, and you'll see in a minute, with my loupe and my magnifying glasses, and I took one of the lenses off. Oops. I took one of the lenses off and used it on the back of my phone to zoom in. So this is 25 times what your eye can see. Oh my gosh, the ice looks amazing.